Hey everybody, this is Juan, editor at kicksonfire.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nike Kobe 9 Elite, both in the adult size and the grade school size. My nephew happens to be here on vacation and he's a big basketball fan, and he happens to have, coincidentally the same colorway of the Nike Kobe 9 Elite, so in the grade school size. So let's take a look. Alright, so let's put that away there for focusing purposes. So first up is the adult size of the Nike Kobe 9 Elite. This is the perspective colorway. So, one of the big, draws of the Nike Kobe 9 itself is the fact that it uses Flyknit. Being a big fan of Flyknit, I was pretty curious as to how Nike was going to be able to pull it off. I own a pair of racers, trainers, the Lunar Ones, and I'm huge fans of those. So the fact that they were going to use Flyknit was definitely curious for me, how they were going to pull it off, have the support that is necessary for the basketball court, but yet being that, flexible, type of shoe, that runners use, since, that's pretty much like the big draw of Flyknit, is that it's supposed to be flexible, feels like a sock, and all that good stuff. So when I finally got my hands on a pair of the Nike Kobe 9 Elite, it was definitely like an eye-opening experience, putting him on and everything. Like, it didn't feel like I thought Flyknit should feel, when you put on a pair of Flyknits, it's like, practically like nothing, when you're wearing it, it's like, socks, it's barely even socks. And when I wear the Kobe 9, I don't really notice the Flyknit at all. I mean, it's just there. I can see the Flyknit in the construction and the materials on the upper and everything. It's there, but it doesn't feel like Flyknit, and the reason for that is because it has basically a layer of fuse right below the Flyknit, so it feels more like a basketball shoe than it does, a pair of Flyknits. So I can't tell if I'm disappointed or if I'm like glad that Nike figured out a solution to have Flyknits on basketball shoes, but yet it still doesn't feel like Flyknit. So that's, I don't know, still having a hard time trying to reconcile that at the moment. In terms of like it playing ball in them, they're phenomenal. They're actually just a great pair of basketball shoes. The fact that this is, the high cut is totally not even like a big deal at all. I mean, one of the big things about Kobe was talking about when he made the Kobe 9, when they were putting it together, was that he wanted to have a high cut shoe that felt like a low. And in many ways they succeeded, because as you can see right here, this is also basically like Flyknit construction right here. And you don't even feel it when you're on the court. You hardly ever feel this part right here. And for the most part, it's like acknowledging the fact that it's more of a mental block for most people when they see a pair of Kobe's, because most Kobe's are low cut, and some people have like this preconceived notion that the fact that it's a low cut shoe, it means that their ankles or whatever is gonna break apart if they play ball in them. And so this was like Kobe's acknowledgement of like, what, fine, we'll make a high cut shoe, and we'll still make it feel like a low. And basically this was their solution right here. You really don't feel it, but it's still there for those who have that that mental block. So other than that disappointment, I guess, I mean, it's still a fine basketball shoe, and it looks really nice in person. Like, I've seen people like walk around wearing them. It's not as weird as like maybe many people thought they would, basically. And basically the biggest block for me, is basically the price tag. It's $225, I believe, and that's kind of not out of the price range of most people. So I mean, it still sells out because sneakerheads. But yeah, I do like the Nike Kobe 9 Elite, but I don't know if I like it $225 like it. Basically, I wanted the look of Flyknit, and I definitely got that, but I didn't get the feel of Flyknit. So, but it's still a great basketball shoe. So there's that, and then here is the Nike Kobe 9 in the grade school size. Same colorway, of course, the perspective colorway. And instead of Flyknit, they went with engineered mesh, basically the same material that they used on the Nike Kobe 8. So one of the more interesting, facts, I mean, not necessarily facts, but like, opinions about the Nike Kobe 9 is that it actually looks better, in grade school size, because it doesn't run up as high as, the adult size. So it actually looks more like a mid-cut shoe than a high cut. So if you take a look right here in the back, as you see, like, there's the stitches, which is supposed to represent, Kobe's injury from last year. But as you'll see here in comparison, see how much different it is when it rides up. Like, you know, you have like this extra, like, you know, KB9 graphic up here, and then a little bit more extra material over there. Whereas with the Kobe 9 grade school, kind of ends right with the stitching. So obviously there's obviously a big difference between, like, you know, a grade school and an adult size, but it does make for a more interesting, you know, look for the grade school size. As in, you know, a lot of people don't really consider this a high cut. I mean, I've seen a lot of, you know, my nephew, when he walks around in them, I don't even necessarily think of it as a high cut shoe. It's more of a low cut, and he doesn't necessarily have any issues with that at all either. So yeah, so just taking a look at the shoe itself, I mean, you don't see the same detail as you do on the Flyknit, obviously, with the engineered mesh and everything, but it does do a good job of, you know, basically replicating, you know, what to expect with the Kobe 9 adult size. So, but another thing you may notice here is, like, you'll see right here the way that it rides up over there. So again, like, you'll see how much difference, you know, all that extra material makes. So in terms of, like, my preference, would I rather that the Nike Kobe 9 was made more like the Kobe 9 grade school? I'm not sure. I'm really not. You know, like I said, I'm still trying to reconcile the fact that, you know, it's Flyknit, but kind of not really. So yeah, again, it's checking it out. This is basically the Nike Kobe 9 Elite in the adult size, and the Nike Kobe 9 in the grade school size. So yeah, definitely one of those things I just had to see for myself. And, you know, thanks to the fact that my nephew was here, I got a chance to definitely get a closer look at the grade school size. So yeah, interesting, you know, the direction Nike went with, you know, with the Kobe 9 Elite and everything. Although they did come out with the low cut version with the Flyknit, so I haven't had a chance to try that on or even see a pair in person. So that'll definitely be another video for another time, you know, when we get a chance to take a look at that. So again, this is Juan, editor at kicksonfire.com, and you just watched me ramble on for 7.5 minutes about the Nike Kobe 9 Elite. Thanks for watching.